Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Resources. This is your host Phil Mendenhall. Today, my buddy John Caskey and I are going out on Cedar Lake on the south end near Pomona, Illinois. We're gonna go do some crappie fishing, maybe a little bass fishing. Kind of cold, the wind just picked up. We got a storm coming in around 1 o'clock. It's about 10:30 in the morning right now. He was catching a mess of crappie out here earlier. A bunch of bass. But we're gonna see what we can do today. We'll just make this all work out really nice. We're gonna catch some nice fish. God, I am hung again. I cannot believe this. I've been hung every time I drop it down there. Caught 5 crappie in here. Pretty nice ones. Water's 46 degrees. It's raining the whole time we've been out here. Pretty nasty weather. Like that. Oh, there's John, got him another monster. Oh, kind of fun. We're way off these logs out here. We're using crappie jigs. I'm using a blue and white. He's using like a crayfish color. It's kind of a brown and a chartreuse. Water is just murky as heck. Looks like chocolate milk. How these fish can even see, it's amazing. Each caught a few fish. He's catching more than me, as usual. The rain will just not let up. Shoot. Oh, he just caught another one, wasn't even paying attention. That's a nice one, John. Woo. Now, John, he crimps all his barbs down on his hooks. Oh, boy. And he's a terrible basketball player. He can't get a crappie into the Livewell. But
you know what a crappie feels like.
That's a nice crappie there. Not huge, perfect eating size as far as I'm concerned. Actually, to tell you the truth, I like the smaller crappie the best. They curl up when you're cooking them. They're nice and crunchy. I like my fish just a little bit crunchy.
Bam! There you have it like that, all right?
Uh-oh. Thank God I'm not hung up again. About the only thing I catch is sticks. You know, folks, if you don't come out here prepared with rain gear on. Oh, there's a nice one. Oh, there we go. Finally. It's a good fishing day. Every day's a good fishing day if you're catching. Here we go. So anyway, another small crappie. It's a pretty decent little crappie spot. I mean, we're catching one every few minutes. Folks, it's a miserable fishing day, to tell you the truth. Between the rain and the wind, my hands are frozen. Oh, look at that. There's a nice one. That's a white crappie as I've ever seen it. Wow.
Boy, it is, isn't it?
Here, I'll let you take your fish off. I think he's catching most of the big ones. I'm catching all the dinks back here. Man, that wind's blowing so hard. It's blowing my crappie jig out of the water. It's catching my line. I have never wound up so much line as I do out here. I don't know. It keeps twisting around the end of my rod. Yeah, you definitely don't want to twisted line on your rod and you catch a big fish. I've had it happen before and it snaps your rod tip off. Not a pleasant feeling when you see a $30, $40 rod snap in half. But John and I used to go out fishing all the time for crappie, and we had these short rods like you'd use for bluegill and stuff. We could never feel the bites. We went to these long 10-foot rods. I like a medium action, not a light action. We're using light gear, about a 6-pound test. Went to 4-pound test and I think I lost about 10 jigs every time I went out. I was like tired of throwing my money into the bottom of the lake, and I switched up to 6-pound test and I haven't had that problem nearly as much. So we've just stuck with it. I don't have a favorite line anywhere. I do like this braided line. Oh, John's got another one. Look at him. Man, he's making me look bad today.
Every one of them's eating it too.
Yeah, they're gulping it down to their belly. I prefer braided line, except that they do come out if you got to pinch your eyelet on your hook or your jig real tight, or it'll slip right through it. I've lost like 3 or 4 jigs now to that happening. Even when you had a nice fish on too. Look at this, he's acing me out today.
He's got 1 jig.
I guess I might want to try that double jig method. I'm gonna get my other rod here. This is kind of pathetic. And folks, don't hesitate to try different stuff when you're out fishing. This is what I'm gonna try, this silver speckled one and this orange paddle tail with speckles in it. And this is on my light action rod. It's nice for fighting a fish, but it seems like this one finds every stick out there and every stump. And I'm hung up with this rod more than I've ever been in my life. Ooh, that wind is blowing hard. Rain's still coming down. Not as bad as it was, but just enough to keep you miserable. John bought that outfit. He and his dad both bought an outfit. What, 40 years ago, John?
At least 30.
But I'll tell you what, it's fairly waterproof for him. I've never heard him complain about the cold, but look at that, he's wearing sneakers up there. They must be good luck sneakers. I won't complain about them. He just caught another fish. Yeah, these trees fell down in a big storm a while back. There's a beaver lodge back up in there underneath them. It's a real pretty lake. Cedar Lake is probably one of the most scenic lakes in southern Illinois. Every one of them's beautiful. I can't complain about any of them down here in the Shawnee Forest. And just above it, there's Crab Orchard Lake, Little Grassy, Devil's Kitchen. Those are all refuge lakes. And then we've got Lake Kincaid and Cedar Lake and Lake Murfreesboro. And there's Lyerla Lake down south in Union County. Hopefully I'll be able to do a fish gigging video coming out of that lake, because if the spring floods come true, those fish will be swimming across the roadway down there, and you can just gig the heck out of them. Real fun time. And I'll show you how to can carp. I may even smoke some, show you how to fillet them and keep the bones out, how to fry them up. So it's a pretty fun little operation when it happens, but the rivers aren't up yet, which I'm kind of glad, because it's icy cold out here right now. Come on, fish, you can bite on my rod for once. I would appreciate it. I think I've only caught like 4 fish and had to throw 1 back. You might notice I got a big flotation on my rod. John gave me these. He doesn't have them on his rods now. I don't know why. It'll help keep your rod floating, at least if it goes in over the side. All right, John, you're slowing down. What's wrong? Not catching one every 60 seconds. Oh, look at that. And I caught a monster wallmouth. God, dog, I think I'm catching all the dinks. That was on that orange. Come on out of there. All right, I'm trying to hold my mouth right. Means I'll catch more fish. I just can't believe these fish are in the treetops this early in the season. 46-degree water, wind howling, rain, front coming in, and we're catching fish. Anytime you're ready to quit, John, we can go.
Trying to tell me something?
My fingers are frozen.
Cole stuck a hook in one, we didn't even feel it.
Caught a good mess of fish. One of us did. I got in a tournament with my other buddy, Bill, from Indiana. And we got there first thing in the morning. We were in a bass tournament. And it was snowing. The wind was howling. They were putting in their boats. These guys had their big bass boats and everything. It was so bad that it sank 2 of the boats. They were getting beat against the riprap, and it snowed and blew all day. I don't think we caught a fish the whole day. I've never been so cold. Wind was blowing about 30 miles an hour. couldn't hold the boat anywhere. We tried to get in these coves, get out of the wind, and it was just brutal. All right, man, my camera's just falling off my head.